those finals?
I'm going to do a TEDX talk in a week's time on a project I've been involved with doing recycling computers. So I thought there's going to be a workshop, I think it's 6, isn't it? Recycling computers, and in the barn. So I thought this would also serve as a good sort of advert for that workshop. So yeah, so please give me some feedback, see what you think. So I want to be happy, okay? So, yeah, I know, it seems so ridiculous, a goal. But how to go about being happy? Well, what makes me happy is having happy neighbours. Because if I'm sitting eating my supper and the person next to me is hungry, then that ruins my meal. You know, I can't be happy if my neighbours aren't also happy. And this is a well-established sort of proposition. You know, it's been researched that as the gap between people's wealth and power increases, their happiness overall decreases. So what we need to do is make a society with a smaller gap in inequalities and power and wealth. And, you know. Okay, so this is all sort of fairly standard stuff, I'm sure. And I chose to try and fight this by fixing people's computer problems, removing spyware, and replacing power sockets. So, you know, it might seem like that's a bit of a jump from, you know, wanting to fight the good fight to fixing sort of spyware. But it does make sense, really. Let me sort of explain it. So, as I was growing up, my parents taught me by example that if you don't have what you want to see in the world, that it's perfectly possible to start something and to try and do something about it. You don't have to just sit around at dinner parties putting the world to rights, although, you know, they did a bit of that as well. So I knew that it was possible to start projects to make things happen. And so about 12 years ago, when I moved to Sheffield, I realised that I wanted to start something to try and help deal with the gap. And there were lots of projects trying to do recycling of computers. So seeing that there were computer carcasses left on the street and thinking there's life in them, they're chips, yeah, sort of thing. And refurbishing them and usually selling them for a nominal sort of amount of money to sustain the project. And so I was quite interested in those ideas, and I talked to some people who were running projects like that. But as I thought about it more, I decided that the problem that I saw wasn't really focused on the hardware so much as keeping these things going. Because I kept meeting people who had a box. It was in the cupboard under the stairs. And you ask them why not, why isn't it being used? And they'll tell you that whenever they switch it on, they get a strange message on the screen that they don't understand. And, you know, therefore they can't afford to go to Currys and buy a new one yet, so they haven't got a computer. And so I sort of realised that, you know, over the next few years, the price of sort of the box, and therefore the availability of it for most people, was going to go down. People were going to actually have more access to the hardware. That was going to become less of the problem. But I could also see that the internet was already, you know, in 2003, a big thing, and I could see that that was just going to get more and more important. So, and, you know, the internet now isn't just important, it's essential. You know, you can't claim job seekers allowance, you can't do your homework, you can't talk to people in other countries sort of for no cost, and, you know, you can't get to buy things without paying full high street prices. So, and there's, you know, we can see in the future there's more and more government services that you're going to have to interact with online. So there's this network effect with the internet, and that basically means that as you have more and more people join in, the benefits to everyone go up. But there's a flip side to this network effect that isn't always appreciated, which is that as the benefits of the people who have been included go up, so the disbenefits for the people who aren't part of the network also go up. And actually, they can rise quicker than the benefits can. So here we have this situation where the internet is driving the people who have access to it and the people who don't have access to it. It's driving a wedge in there and increasing the inequalities. So it's for those reasons that we're there on Saturdays, fixing people's laptops, replacing cracked screens, and pulling spyware off almost every Windows computer I touch. So, I mean, it seems silly really, but a simple thing like a power socket for a laptop, if you trip over that and crack that, then the laptop's a ticking sort of time bomb. Its batteries are running out, and when it's done, you're screwed, sort of thing. What do? If you take it to a local shop, they'll probably charge you £60 or £70 for that sort of thing. But the actual socket is £1.30 or £2.20 on eBay. And it takes an hour and a half to disassemble the laptop fully, usually, and solder out the old one and put it back together again. So, but it's that kind of thing that will stop people from being able to use the internet. And, if you haven't got the money to take it to a shop, and you don't have the trust as well, I think that's a big barrier, that people feel a bit like with your car. If you don't understand a car and it starts making funny noises and you just have this dread, well, you have to take it to someone who tells you some things that need doing and a price, and you don't necessarily trust that that's going to be just being ripped off. So we've been there, Bitfixit in Pitsmoor here, fixing about 3,000 local residents' computers, we reckon, over the 12 years of the project. And we've won some national awards, but what we've really done, I think, is tried to fight to close the gap between the more wealthy people who've got easy access to this kind of technology, where buying a new laptop isn't a major barrier, and those of our neighbours for whom that's a crippling event for the whole month's finances or 6 months' finances. So, thank you very much.